Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons. You all died.
Well, I mean, no, we're not all dying quite yet in this game. I gotta at least get you to the castle and then kill you properly there. But we're back for another episode of Monster Hunter Barovia. We decided to elect stealth this time and came through with a pretty solid plan. The team managed to find a way into Lady Walker's house through the basement where they found out that she was the leader of the cult, surprising no one, and ended up creeping through the first floor, then the second floor, where they found her estranged daughter, who apparently has had some sort of mental duress that has reverted her to think like a cat, and blames the young lad from the Baron and the Baroness family. And as they were going through the house, they came across the uh, master bedroom of Lady Walker and found the corpse of Mr. Walker, preserved, although quite dead, and for some time, and ended up finding a chest in the room that contained the Sun Sword. Just as a point of order, I made a mistake last time, and the Sun Sword actually doesn't actually talk with words, but instead communicates to the players by transmitting its feelings to the players. What they also found in the chest is a set of bones as well. And unless there's anything else, I think that's where we left off, correct?
I believe so.
All right, so I have the chest with the bones and a sword hilt in it.
Yep.
That is emotioning at you or in your general direction.
All right, so the sword's pretty. So this sword hilt, when I hold it, the blade comes out of it, or
Yeah, it's just it just emits a blade of light that comes out from the hilt.
this thing is weird. You'd think it would have more heft to it, but it doesn't.
I would think that would mean that problems with accidentally cutting off your own hand.
So looking at the hilt or anything, is there any like writing or anything that I see that like indicates like how it works or?
No, it as far as you can tell, the it just looks like a plain old hilt. It takes a second, and then the sword sends to you, Quinn, a sense of curiosity.
Huh. That's weird. It's like I can feel like feelings coming from it. So, fucking, what should I talk to at it or what?
What do you mean by feelings from it?
It feels curious. Like I feel like it wants information. I don't know what this means.
How would you feel if you were randomly picked up while you were sleeping? Say hello?
I mean, I guess it's a fair point.
In fairness, if I was sleeping in the chest with lots of old bones, I would probably be happier than not. I would not want to stay there, yes?
Um, hello, sword with light coming out instead of a blade. My name is Emerson Quinn. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
The sword kind of emits back to you a kind of a welcome feeling.
Oh, well, that's nice to meet you. Is there Well, we were thinking about going and trying to take care of an old friend of ours named Strad von Zarovich. I wonder if you would kindly like to come along and help us with that.
The sword sends back to an overwhelming feeling of rage and hatred.
Did I say something wrong? I'm sorry.
Did the sword threaten you? Are you alright?
Yeah, no, it's. I think it is not happy with Strahd.
Yeah, so as you said it again, it just goes out with the feeling of a vengeful feeling towards, sense of vengeful feeling towards you when you mention Strahd's name.
Ah, well, okay, so would you be on board with a little bit of violence then?
The sword sends out an eager feeling.
Okay, so all right. Well, who do we think would be best? The sword be best in the hands of. I mean, I could probably use it, but I feel like staying farther away is more beneficial for me. Vika,
It is sort of shaped like longsword. I it would be weird without weight, but probably adapt to it.
I'm sure you've gotten more done with less.
I mean, yes.
All right. Well, I will give this to you, unless anybody else has any better ideas.
Does anyone else require sword with sunbeam?
I will come pat you on the leg.
I'm good with my spear.
All right. I will try to stab things with beam of light. Are we
Curious.
certain that beam of light does something? I mean, is beam of light? Light does not hurt.
Um, I'm gonna like do an image pointing the sword down with a minor illusion in my hand, like towards me.
Did you hand me the sword yet, or are you still holding it? Okay. Uh,
I think Parrot wants you to stab him.
I did not. No, I am comfortable with that. Uh,
I will poke your leg.
but I do not want to stab you or my leg.
It's very unethical, but
No,
I'm
I'm gonna start
very
like
curious as to how
shaking
the
around
Jedi that.
angrily. Down.
You mean floor?
Oh, for crying out! I'm gonna grab the sword out of her hand as the sunbeam comes out of it. I'm just gonna stab it into the wall.
I'm gonna run over and poke the sword.
All right. So as soon as the sword goes in, yeah, as it would be in a physical blade of metal, the sword actually starts cutting into the wall, and you know, as Parrot touches it, it doesn't actually deal any damage, but you do feel a bit of warmth coming from the blade.
Um, Similar to my patron or different?
Different from your patron, more like the feeling of the sun, like on a like a sunny day, you just feel the sun on you. That's how it feels.
I'm gonna kind of rub it a little bit and then walk away.
You said there were bones in the chest.
Yes.
Can I try and take a look at the bones and see if I can tell if they're male, female, how old they are?
Oh yeah. Go ahead and you can do a medicine check.
13. It was almost a 20.
So as you're examining the bones, what you found that they're really old. Male by look and design, from the jawline, pelvic bones, and everything else. Male's male in nature, but yeah, these bones are pretty old. Talking centuries.
I'm not gonna lie, strange sword aside, this is very weird. These bones are hundreds of years old.
That is very odd. Does that mean that sword has been sleeping there for hundreds of years?
The sword sends back the feeling. Who has it right now? Is it Vika or is it?
I do.
Yeah, Vika has
Uh,
it.
yeah, Vika sends back a feeling of no. It's like nope.
Oh, right.
Wouldn't it be funny if these were Strahd's bones?
That is probably not accurate. Is there is anyone here good with medical knowledge? Can you tell if male or female, if human or
Um,
otherwise? Elf?
sorry, they're male. Definitely a dude.
Male human. Yeah.
You said male. Okay. Let me jot that down.
Who has that sheath from our one-off adventures in the random house? One of the random knickknacks you guys got?
It's probably in the party loot, which means since I'm tracking it, I'm guessing I'm carrying it. It's either me or Tilda. Sheath.
Yep. So, um, whoever has it, the sword takes notice, and it'll kind of have a feeling of familiarity, and um, as it urges you to kind of look at the sheath.
It wants me to look at the sheath. He said.
Yeah.
All right. I dig through the bags and pull out the ornate scabbard that fits no blade we have found so far.
Yeah.
And I look at scabbard.
Yeah, it has this kind of same ornate engravings on the hilt as it's on the scabbard.
Oh, so this was your scabbard.
It lets out a bit of a joyous feeling.
Then at some point you must have had a blade.
It gets really sad about that.
Oh, it's okay. You are still very powerful without, yes?
Yeah, it cheers up a little bit.
So is there any way to identify who this person was?
It sends out a bit of a feeling of hope, but that's all you're getting from it.
Was this your former wielder?
It kind of gives you the impression of yeah.
Then we should probably bring him to the church, yes, to have him buried. Is better than remaining locked here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the sheath, not the bones.
Oh no, the bones.
Oh, well, in that case, it doesn't know. It kind of just signals with a no.
Okay. So does the hilt like still stick in the scabbard even though it has no blade?
Yeah, it kind of locks, kind of like, for lack of a better sense, it feels like it kind of, connects to it magnetically.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, as soon as you plop it on there, it kind of just sticks onto it. So it's a way for you to conceal it.
Yeah, I will attach it to the scabbard then.
Is there anything else around in the area?
No, that was really the big point. One of the two big points was the chest in here and the non-decomposing body of Mr. Wachter, Lord Wachter.
What are we gonna do about this cat lady?
We should probably get her some help. It is obvious that the Lady Voctor is not treating her well.
Yes, but if she for some reason tells anyone that we helped her, the Lady Walker will know that we were here.
I think she's always already going to figure that out, considering, someone stabbed her Vol with glowing sword, which was why I was sort of hesitating.
Well, sure, you can point the finger at me for that specifically, sure, but I think she would notice the sword missing.
It was in locked chest. It probably doesn't check very often.
Well, we also are going to not help her with the thing we wanted that she wanted us to do, and the thing that she was going to offer us in return is also gone, and so will we be. So
That is fair.
I'm just gonna shrug and keep looking around.
Keep looking around in her abode. Sorry, not her abode, but her bedroom.
Just yeah, anything around here. I don't want to wander too far from the group. I don't do well by myself.
Yeah, I mean, aside from that, there's just your standard wood pile for the fire, chair that's somewhat well worn, but nothing else.
We could take her to the church, but I don't know how much that would do. Are there any mental hospitals in the area?
I do not know.
Okay, well, all of this is going on. I just kind of want to inspect this door and see if I notice anything unusual, traps or anything of the such.
No,
Locks.
nothing out of the normal for that room.
Okay, I'll keep wandering on to the next one while they're doing this. So
Yeah, the locks on these floors don't seem like aside from the library and the young lady's room, there's no locks on these two. That, as far as you can tell, there's not anything off about the doorknob or anything.
have we been? We haven't been in the scratching room yet, have we?
Yeah, that was
The girl.
Stella's room.
Wasn't that the one by the stairs?
Yeah.
Right here?
No, over here.
Oh, okay. I I thought it was that one. All right, well, I'm gonna walk in this door.
Okay, door. Okay, that's I. Is that L? Wow, they really didn't do me a solid there. Let's see. Do-do. K L. Oh, okay. That can't be this door, right? Sorry, my map is having a bit of an issue. Kind of. Well, that door's not even freaking deck. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. All right, so the guy doesn't actually have anything for me about this room. It actually is blank. Yeah, just
Wait, what?
this room
There's
here.
just a blank room.
Yeah, there was nothing to indicate what this room was.
That's stupid.
Linen closet?
Yeah,
Did you say Linden or Linen?
linen.
It is a linden
If the
closet.
Linden closet now kicks in, slams door.
Man, I certainly hope there were no brooms in there.
For you see, there was the great black ebony broom, the fiercest of all of Strahd's brooms. Now,
Why is he scared of brooms?
And that is how
Because he almost
Linden
got
died.
killed by one.
Yes,
Yeah,
he almost got killed by broom.
At level 1, when we were doing the first like little intro manor, he walked into a room, a broom fell on him, and almost killed him.
And I would like to say that was just something goofy that happened, but no, it was like an enchanted broom that like woke up and attacked him.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you haven't, I would strongly recommend going to that YouTube page and watching the first few episodes. There's a lot of shenanigans that happen in that death house. There's a lot of WTFs that set the tone for the rest of the campaign.
Like Lyndon and the broom, like Vika and the falling unconscious 3 times.
Was it this campaign or the homebrew that had so many phallic jokes in it?
Both?
That had which jokes?
Well, yeah, but that one that like we
Phallic?
spent
No
literally
dick
like
jokes?
the whole time just making penis jokes.
It was a homebrew, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
That sounds like something I do. Yeah.
It's fun.
But yes, this is nothing more than just, linen room. Spare linen blankets and kind of somewhat moth chewed. Doesn't look like anyone's used it.
It was like the Final Fantasy Tactics, I think, like thing.
Oh god.
And I commented about one of them looking like a penis, and then it just took off, and they all ended up looking like penises.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You talked about the tactics bosses. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then if I don't sense anything weird on this door, I'm gonna like peek in the room slowly.
For viewers at home, that would be our Nerdy Dungeons & Dragons, also on the YouTube page. Alright. This one I have notes for. So, that is room M, which this bedroom contains nothing out of the ordinary. A neatly made bed, a table with an oil lamp, a handsome wooden chest, a slender wardrobe, and a window box with drapes.
Well, while we're all talking, I'm gonna leave the door wide open then and start looking through. Fuck it.
I'll go with him.
Sort of, why not? Let's all go traipsing about the house and hope that we get out of here before they come home.
That's always the hope.
I'm just doing a
It'll
quick
be
run
fine.
over the room. I'm not like being super thorough, taking hours.
Yeah, you guys just want to roll me an investigation roll.
Everyone or one person with advantage and guidance.
I'm gonna vote for the latter.
I can do that then.
So everyone help Quinn.
Investigation with advantage.
Lucy, got anything to say?
I'm gonna go in here blind and without like being guided in any way, and just like
I will
unbe
guide.
guided.
I will
Oh,
like just barely brush my fingers on your shoulder as I cast guidance. Not paying attention, very confused by the non-decaying dead man on the bed.
21.
Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary, with the exception of you see some small balls of wax on the nightstand next to the bed. Look like that. Some of them are squished. Some of them look like that they're kind of look like they were used, but they're not on a candle or anything. They're just small balls of wax. Best assumption you can make is that the brother who stays next to this room uses it to kind of dampen the sound coming out from the sister's room.
Why would dropping candle wax on a desk dampen the sound?
You put it in your ear.
That's kind of gross.
That seems like a terrible idea.
Actually, there's some precedent for using wax as earplugs.
It's actually really good when you have an ear infection and you want to go swimming.
I know
knew
that
about
it's
the
a
ear
thing, but it's still,
infections, but like I didn't think you dripped it in. I thought you like held the hot wax near it. Like didn't actually drip it into your ear.
No,
Oh,
I think you're.
Yeah.
I don't think you like drip it in directly. I think you like take the hot wax, like ball it up, and then like mold it into a shape.
Yes, kind of like a
Oh.
earplug.
okay,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. That makes a lot more sense.
You warm it up just enough to where it's malleable so you can fit it to the form of your ear.
I get it. I'm just special, guys. Don't worry.
We know.
Thank you.
None of us are surprised.
Also, thank you.
But yeah, outside of that, nothing really obscure or worth noting aside from the wax.
Nothing in the weird chest of the bed or whatever.
Nah, you find a couple of pieces of parchment, wood carving, but nothing
If it
nothing
if
suspicious.
there's parchment, I will take that.
Oh, okay.
Sure. Um. All right. So there is nothing else in the room.
Nope, not in this one.
So there was one other room, and have we decided what we are doing with Miss Kitty?
Do we leave her to her parents' devices, or do we let her loose and hope that she doesn't get run over by a wagon or something? I don't know.
I was thinking that perhaps the temple would be a good place for her. The priest there seemed um, decent.
Until her mother picks her up again. It's also going to be a lot harder to get out of here with her.
Perhaps we could put her in the care of Isaac and Arena. Give them something to do.
It just seems wrong to leave her alone in windowless room with straps on bed and soiled clothes. She is obviously not being cared for.
I'm gonna walk out and go check the other room.
Okay.
Just like scamper off, not even listening. Sorry.
Good talk.
Yeah, and this room looks practically identical to the other one that you were just in. Seems like another one of Lady Walker's sons takes residence up in here.
All right, I'm snooping away.
Well, let's get in. We can
Not
at
very
least
well.
try.
What was that?
We can at least try.
All right, let's go get her.
For all we know, she is suffering from some sort of magical ailment. Perhaps priest can help.
At the very least, he could, show succor for the poor girl who needs somebody to take care of her.
Vika will return to girl's room. Miss Kitty, do you want to go outside for a bit? Perhaps visit new friend.
She leaps off the bed onto the floor with a purring sound. Like, yes, please.
Vika smiles at her and gives her a gentle pat on head. Then let us go. Yes, we go for a walk and we meet new friends.
How old is she?
16, I think he said.
Yeah.
Vika
Right.
will take off her cloak, wrap it around the girl, which is going to be a massive size difference, and just heaves her up in her arms and carries her.
Yeah, she just kind of purrs as, she's just kind of taking into that comfortable embrace.
Alright, is there anything else that we need doing here?
I shrug again.
I don't think so. We got the sword we needed. So, unless we wanted to fire the whole thing up again, seems to be our MO.
If you're doing that, then we also need to be evacuating the little kitties. If not, then we should probably put chest back and lock it.
When you guys go back into this room, Sorry. You guys go back into this room. Go ahead and roll me one more investigation roll.
I will do
Alright.
so.
This
I'm usually good at that.
help.
Oh, come on. That was an 18
This help.
with help. Am I rolling again?
Yes, I am not. I am not investigating. I am.
It was a
helping.
5 twice.
Oh God.
So 11.
Let me double check.
Where was that guidance when we needed it?
You said look into the room. I was not paying attention.
You know what? There's not a check on it, so yeah, that's fine. So as you guys were trying to get the cats out of here, one of the cats obviously uh, felt abnormal as it was kind of pawing to something underneath the bookshelf, and as Quinn took notice, it seemed like that there was a small amount of air coming out of here, even though that the window was closed. So that's,
Oh, really?
yep.
Well, I'm going to poke my head around, see if there's any sort of thing that's causing the air to come out from under there.
Yeah, you see a hinge. Voila.
Oh, shit. Well, what we got here?
Okay. Behind the hinge panel in the bookcase lies a dusty 10-foot square room with curtain windowed shelves lining three walls. The bottom shelf, on the bottom shelf rests an iron chest. The other shelves are bare.
All right, I will investigate this iron thing, see if there's any like traps or locks or anything on it.
Yeah. Go ahead and do me another investigation.
That was almost a 5, but that one was an 18. 24.
Yeah, there's actually some sort of trap on the key itself. So, but you know that if you just happen to use the key, that it will actually disable the trap, so you don't actually have to do anything.
Yeah. Cool. We have a key that hasn't fit anything, right?
Yep.
Yes, Lyndon has been trying it in everything.
Lyndon, can you hand me that key? Lyndon, can you?
Oh,
Is he still in that
certainly.
fucking? Is he still in that fucking closet?
And I'm not coming out. I'm staying in the closet.
No, we can't do that. We've got shit we got to get done. Come out of the closet. The sooner you do, the better you'll feel.
Rooms are tricky.
But I like it in here.
You're enjoying this too much.
Cannon. All right.
All right. So yeah, that key
Don't
actually
miss
works
sessions.
on it.
Don't miss sessions,
That's
guys.
how
It
one of
makes-
our other characters ended up as a eunuch.
Oh God.
Do not miss sessions.
Look, he's got to work. I will dismiss it as a excused absence.
That's fine.
All right. So in that,
Sexuality's still canon now.
the inside the iron chest contains a silk bag containing 180 electrum pieces, each coin bearing Strahd's stern visage and profile. A leather bag
Oh, good.
containing 110 gold pieces.
Electrum.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Right? A wooden pipe that has been passed down through many generations of Wachter patriarchs. 5 scrolls, notarized deeds for parcels of land given to the Wachter family by Strahd von Zarovich nearly 4 centuries ago.
You know, the amount of real estate that we have gained since we've been here, we could be fucking rich.
Confirmed.
A supple leather case containing an unbound manuscript titled The Devil We Know, a poetic manifesto written by Lady Fiona Wachter attesting to the worship of devils that can bring happiness, success, freedom, wealth, and longevity, a blasphemous treaty bound in the title The Grimoire of Four Quarters written by an infamous Diabolist, Devostus, who was drawn and quartered for his foul practices yet did not die. This is a forgery. The actual grimoire would drive a reader mad. Oof.
Yeah, it's upside down.
And a very old letter to Lady Lovina Wachter from one Vasily von Holtz, thanking Lovina for her hospitality, loyalty, and friendship over the years.
Huh. There's a bunch of interesting shit in here, but we're gonna take all of it. Cause fuck this lady. And Vika, do you know anything about this Lovino Wachter or Lord Vasily von Holtz?
Vika looks down at sword. Do the names Lovina Vokter or Vasily von Holtz ring bell?
You get a searing amount of anger coming from the sword.
There is lots of anger. From which one? Lovina?
Anger,
Vasily von Holtz.
lots of anger.
There is a bit of anger at Lovina Vokter, but lots of anger at Lord Vasily von Holtz.
I think I know whose soul is inhabiting the sword. Devostus.
The Vostas?
It gives you a
If a sword could roll its eyes.
yeah right. The sword just gives you
Exasperation.
the sword just kind of gives you no signal response.
Is quiet.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with Devostas.
Well, I tried.
Is Vasily von Holtz related to Strahd?
The same searing anger gets pushed through your thoughts.
I think Vasily von Holtz is somehow related to Strahd.
Okay. Well, we'll put a pin in that. Let's get these people out of. Well, let's get these people. Lord, I'm starting to sound like you. These cats out of here.
What do you mean you're starting to sound like me?
Nothing. Actually, what are we gonna do with? Are we just gonna turn these house cats into outside cats? I'm not sure if we really want to burn this house down, but
It's up to you. If leave house alone, then we clean up and make look like we were not here.
I would just let the cats out. I mean, she's going to notice her daughter's missing. So,
Yeah.
daughter broke out of her room, let the cats out because, well, cats, and ran away.
My hands are gonna kind of erupt with fire in anticipation.
And apparently burns the house down.
not saying
really
that is what I want to do, but I'm not, against it.
I have
Terrible day
thought.
that would be to lose your daughter and your cats.
I have thought. If leave house burning an ass, then move bones from chest and put in bed a little girl. Then she will not look for daughter.
Yeah, we're just gonna leave the bones in there. That feels.
If not, we take to church and have buried properly.
I don't know. I feel like disturbing the bones might not be our best idea.
Then, if burn down house, take bones with us, have buried properly.
All right. Take the bones, lock the girl and the cats inside, and burn down the house.
I think you're confusing things. We take all outside, then burn down house.
I mean, fine.
Do we leave body of husband? Do we take him for proper burial too?
He married her. I think just leave him here.
I think so too. Also, that's another thing that we have to deal with.
Could roll up in carpet and just carry.
We're already carrying enough.
Alright, so who wants to round up cats? I have hands full with other kitty.
I want a kitty.
How many cats are there?
I think it was like 8.
8.
Oh, I'm grabbing 4.
Vika will try to scoop up one at least.
Christ.
I'll go after the other ones.
Everyone's going after cats. Probably a handle animal.
I'll help out.
Excellent.
Animal handling, yep. Oh, man.
This is going to go great. Oh,
got a 6.
natural 20!
Oh,
Good job
9.
grabbing that one cat.
Vika is animal person. Animal minotaur? Animal bull? Whatever.
I
Is
rolled a high
animal
two.
minotaur.
Well, yeah, you're a minotaur.
Are you trying to say that I am animal?
Only partly.
Because from where I'm standing, you look like hairless ape.
I am a hairless ape.
Then you're animal too.
Exactly.
We're all featherless bipeds. Let's just get on. We gotta move on.
Parrot has feathers.
Oh shit. Maybe he's a chicken then.
Good old what was it? Is it Grecan philosophers or Roman philosophers? I can't remember which one that one is. Humor. Humor from Grecan philosophers.
It's Greece. Theogenes.
All right, so
Theogenes.
how's this going down?
So Vika and Parrot managed to swoon the cats to allow them to pick them up. Lucy and Matilda don't have as great success getting unscathed, so they will both take 1d4, slashing damage from getting cut from those cats.
Oh, I should probably roll for Lyndon. Because why not?
Wow, Matilda got really scratched up.
Yeah, worth it.
Lyndon is going to try. Holy shitballs!
That's another one.
Lyndon apparently is also very much cat people.
It's because he's sneaky.
Lucy, go ahead and roll me a d4 for damage.
Ow!
God damn!
These cats, man.
Yeah, so, yeah, but after, taking your lumps, or those who successfully, swoon the cats, you manage to get them all into arms and all accounted for.
So, how do we start these? I mean, do we have oil or something?
Yeah, I've got oil. It's called Parrot.
I have flask of oil, could help. Is there any cooking oils that we can use to also help?
I mean, the house is furnished well enough to where if you guys just wanted to find like lantern oil and stuff like that, there's probably a couple of, days worth of jars down there that you guys could probably just start moving around.
So yeah, I guess we're doing this. I'm gonna dump out some oil on the way out to help spread the fire.
I guess we're setting it on fire.
Apparently,
That's what we do.
I sort of feel bad for Aziz. I mean, I do not know if all her family is evil or just her.
I'm just lighting everything on fire at this point. I could care less about feeling bad.
Fair.
My only reservations is what this will do for others. Like when she comes to her house being burned down, what she will do, how she will lash out.
She is not going to be happy with us. Does anyone know how to hide tracks? Because I think hoof prints are sort of giveaway. Quinn?
I mean, I've done a lot of tracking outdoorsy stuff. I could give it a go, I suppose. Try to obscure our tracks from leaving the scene of the fire.
Yes.
I will throw the cats I have down, including ripping one off of my armor, and find some kind of bush branch or tree branch that I can break off, and I'll start sweeping the tracks to try and get rid of them to help out.
God, I don't know if I should have you guys roll for stealth or survival at that point. How the hell do you?
Just let me know.
I'll be helping too, doing what I can.
Because
Yeah,
I'm
I'll-
helping too, but with the cat in my arms.
I am carrying Miss Kitty and a cat, but I am trying.
Oh, once we're outside, the cats are gone.
Oh, then yeah, I'm still carrying the girl, but I'm helping with my other hand.
I'm still
What I got.
carrying the cat, but helping with my other hand.
cat apparently is coming with us.
What good D&D group does not end up with at least one pet?
Maybe one that the DM takes away.
And makes us
Look.
leave him behind in the long, long ago.
Look. I'm building to something.
I miss Kima Kawaii.
Kimo Kawaii.
Which I know at least 2 of you were there for.
Anyway, so I guess yeah. So what are we rolling?
Yeah,
DM.
that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. What would be the best one? Because I think survival might be the best one in terms of like.
Checks to follow tracks, hunt wild game, guide your groups through frozen wastelands, identify signs that owlbears live nearby, predict the weather, or avoid quicksand and other natural hazards. What it says for survival.
Yeah. I guess. Let's just do stealth because this one at least says when you attempt to conceal yourself from your enemies, which you're kind of trying to do. So.
Okay, so everyone gather around and help Quinn.
Okay.
Yeah.
And-
Are we sure we wouldn't want to help?
Guidance.
What was
Lyndon?
that? For sure what?
Lyndon,
Sure we
Oh,
wouldn't want to help
sure,
Lyndon?
let's help Lyndon.
what does Lyndon have?
10.
Plus
Yeah.
10?
I've got plus 9, so he's got me beat by 1.
So everyone is gathering around and helping Lyndon, and alright guys, I'm gonna give this a go. With advantage. A 19 or a... Holy fucking shit!
Where are these rolls? Fucking
Last
Sorry.
week.
Wow.
God
Okay, so
damn.
that was a natural 20 plus 10 plus guidance. Holy shit, so that's 34.
Yeah. There ain't no
Now, did
way.
you
Yeah,
just max
fuck.
it out?
What was that?
There was never a house. They did not live here.
There was no house, there have never been tracks. It was a fucking ghost.
You guys not only managed to make the fire seem like something that would seem natural, but there are no tracks to indicate that you were even here even from your first visit. Good God.
Holy shit. My rolls are really good this week.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Get
Yeah.
the fuck out of there.
Yeah, there is no way that
Yep.
you're going to be unless you say something, no one will ever know that you are responsible for this mess.
Excellent. That's what we like. All right, so let's head to the chapel and drop Stella off with the chaplain as well as with Isik and Aurelia.
Ismark.
Ismark.
Ismark. I knew that didn't quite sound right. Arena. Ismark and Arena. That's what it was. Yes, I will put a hood over Kitty's head, so that others cannot see.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Oh.
And off we go.
Yeah. As you walk through town, you guys get, you know, take the scenic route to avoid town square. You kind of notice that people start fire at the Wachter house. You know, as the bucket brigade tries to at least save the house, but for the most part, most of the town is more occupied with trying to put out the fire down there than they are actually paying attention to anyone moving through. So you arrive at the church, no problem.
I am actually going to run off and try to help put out the fire, quote unquote.
Okay. Always return to the scene of the crime.
All right. Well, Lyndon, keep us in contact with Parrot, so we can
I'm gonna try and beckon somebody to come with me.
Alright, Lyndon will go with you, yeah?
Yeah.
So,
if you do that, we will head to the church and
I'm pretty sure he already used his brain thingy on Quinn and Vika, so He's
That's
going
letting
with
you have more
Parrot.
than one.
He can do it more than one time, but he gets 2 freebies, I think.
Well, anyway, I'm gonna go help try and put out the
If I
fire.
remember correctly. Now I'm looking it up. What was that?
I know he can do more than one because he connected us all at once.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
Thought
but
had
he
to
has
use
to
those
use,
psionic
like,
points.
charges for it. Damn it, where is this stupid ability? Psionic power. That does not help me much. I'm gonna have to, like, pull up the main page, aren't I?
I'm pulling it up. You can establish telepathic communications between yourself and others for perfect quiet infiltration. As an action, choose one or more creatures you can see, up to a number of creatures equal to your proficiency bonus. Then roll one psionic energy die. For a number of hours equal to the number rolled, chosen creatures can speak telepathically with you, and you can speak telepathically with them. Send or receive
Oh.
a message.
So he
a
can do
message.
3. So,
So, yeah.
yeah, he usually does Parrot then in that case. So, Parrot Vika Quinn, I think, was what he had.
Yeah, I think that's
So,
correct.
yep. So we can communicate telepathically with him. So you two can go off and do the thing.
Okay.
All right. So, any other people need to make a detour, or the rest of you just marching forth back to the church?
Is anyone else going to help? Is there any other stop that we need to make?
I will go help as well. So this way we can have more than 2 faces seen.
I'll go with Vika and Quinn.
Okay, and then okay, that works.
Split the party.
Splitting the party.
Splitting the party.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let us go to temple and bring Kitty there for help. Hopefully.
Okay. So, as the three who go back to find the fire, by the time you guys make it back, the roof's already starting to collapse in on itself as you see the, flames starting to eat up on the sides. The glass pretty much has shattered from the intense heat from the inside. Leda Wachter, her 2 sons, and her right-hand man, accompanied with the uh, cooks, the maids, and all the other housekeepers, are all just trying to see what they can do to try to help put out. But unfortunately, there isn't much to be done as, there's only so much the Bucket Brigade can do at this point. The fire's too far gone.
Does she seem to like tell anybody that her daughter is still in there, or that
Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
13?
The crowd's noise is pretty loud as there's a huge amount of the crowd gathered there is pretty raucous and all of them are pretty loud. But you are able to make out her shouting, "My husband, my daughter are inside," and she seems kind of beside herself in her despair.
I will try to help and make a show of trying to at least get in the house to try and find bodies
Then
if
I will
there's a
go in.
way to get in
I
through the flames.
I will even be able to go through the flames a little bit.
Oh, okay. All right. So the front door. Are you trying to go through the front or the back door at this point?
Whatever's the most not on fire, I'm trying to make a show of it. I'm not actually gonna look around because I'm not technically supposed to know where her daughter's at.
Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, you try to go through the front door. Um, go ahead and. Are you actually trying to go into the flames? Then you're saying both of you.
Um, just through the flames, most like not in the flames, like just walking into a fire, but I mean like looking around through any paths, like trying to weave through the flames as best I can, basically.
Okay. Yeah. If you guys want to go ahead and make me a oh acrobatics is fine. As you guys are trying to get yourself moving through the inferno.
16.
13.
Yeah, you guys are able to at least get through the front door and into the main foyer. You can definitely tell that the fire that you guys set definitely is really catching on in the dining room area as there was more wooden items in there for the fire to eat through and definitely you can see the smoke rising to the top floor at this point with a great amount of haste. You see the flames light pretty much a bright orange hue and you're kind of get the notice that that fire upstairs is going pretty quick as well. And between the bells of smoke upstairs, you can actually make out some of even a bit of the actual sky as well from the holes where the roof's already collapsed in.
Um, Specifically, like knowing where the room's at is like okay. While we're going through here, is anybody else in here trying to find anybody?
No, it seemed like most people were urged not to actually go into the house as it could be in danger of collapse at any moment.
Okay, so I will motion to Lucy to kind of like work our way towards the outside, and roughly where her room is, I want to throw a fireball to kind of cause everything to explode and make it seem like there was like something like an oil or something.
Okay.
Damn.
I will follow his direction.
Holy shit!
Yeah, another
And then
acrobatics.
after that happens, I'm gonna run out because obviously you know things are happening.
Yeah, roll more acrobatics to get up to the second floor at this point.
Oh, I wasn't saying like in the second
Oh,
floor. I was saying like the floor underneath where the second floor is.
oh, yeah, yeah. No, then yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and yeah, yeah. It just
I want to roll this like as sneakily as possible so that nobody from the outside knows that it's happening. I
yeah,
just want to try and cover our tracks more.
yeah. Go ahead and give me a stealth roll.
That I can do. That is a 13.
Yeah, with the smoke helping keeping your cover in the flames. Yeah, it just
Guidance.
oh
Oh,
I'm sorry,
well,
that was too late. I forgot I was on mute.
oh. It's fine. He succeeded. Yeah, that fireball gets you know to the point where he aims at the right location and poof, there's just another fireball that just ends up adding more to the inferno.
and at that point in time, I'm gonna be running out the door.
Okay, yeah, one more acrobatics check since you help add a little bit more heat to the situation.
17.
12!
Okay, yeah, you're fine. Lucy gets a little bit of a small singe on her shoulder pads, but aside from that, you guys make it out. A little bit smoky. You end up getting a bit of a charred, smoky. Uh, how can I put it? Shade to your outfits. You guys make it outside and breathe in the nice, cool air again.
I'm gonna be panting, and I'm gonna look over at uh, Lady Walker and just kind of shake my head in sadness.
Yeah, she kind of just faints into the arms of her right hand man, Ernst.
It's a terrible name.
It is
Ernst.
Ernst. Yeah, her son's trying to, fan air, doing the whole, pushing air with a piece of parchment like a fan, try to fan her some air. Everyone's like, "Oh no, the Walker house is lost." Yeah, yeah, that sucker burns to the ground within the hour, essentially. uh,
All right, once that's done, I'm gonna return back to everybody else. Try to kind of not be too obvious about it, though. Not necessarily stealthy, but just kind of like
sure.
slip away.
Leave them to their mourning and follow.
Yes, it's a real tragedy. Anyway,
All right. While that was all going on, you guys make it to the church. You see The local guy just kind of going through and doing some minor landscaping to try to clean up and make the church a little bit more presentable from the events from a few nights ago. He nods at you guys, and once again he gives you a nod of gratitude as he gets back to work. Stella just kind of pops her head open from the hood a little bit, and she gets all excited and starts walking on four legs and dashing into the front door.
Vika hurries up after her.
I stealthily try to hide my rolling my eyes and continue after.
Yeah, I follow.
What was the priest's name here?
Lucian.
Is it like what title do they use? Do they use like father
Yeah, they
or
use father.
Okay. Lucian, you said?
Yeah, Lucian.
Okay. Father Lucian? Lucian? Ugh. Pronouncing that with my accent is hard. Father Lucian, are you here?
Yes, yes, my dear. Oh, is it young Stella? Haven't seen her in quite some time.
We found this one running about, and there is a great pillar of flame in town, and we thought perhaps she was running away from wherever, and I didn't know where to bring. I did not know who she belongs to.
Deception.
Yes, come on. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. 18.
Oh God. Let me see if I. Of course, I don't freaking have it. I need to go to. I wish that I could just have on the page just a dice, just to roll dice. There we go. Oh yeah, he believes you. I only rolled a freaking 3.
Okay. It was strange. She seemed to think she is animal and not girl. I did not know where to bring, so brought her here.
Oh, let me see. You can kind of see his puts his hand to the girl's forehead. He's like, "Oh, oh dear, this is terrible. Her mind's been afflicted with some curse. Poor girl, she. Oh no, this is beyond my ability to take care of."
Who would have the ability?
Oh, a powerful cleric, perhaps. Someone who can have the gods themselves restore her mind. I do not draw upon that ability. Strahd has, well, not broken my faith, but has humbled it to the point where I can no longer call upon the power of the Morning Lord as once I did in my youth.
Then I wonder if Lucy could do something.
He's like, as long as her faith is indeed strong enough to pierce the evil that Strahd encompasses the land, then perhaps there's a chance.
Do you think you could take care of little girl? I do not know where she came from, and I do not. I mean, she is obviously filthy. Someone is not taking care of her.
He nods and says, yes, this church is a refuge for all that needs salvation and sanctuary. He turns to Irina and Ismark's like, would you two please help set up the separate bedroom that we have available and find some clean clothes? I'm sure we have something in our size from the donations. The two nod their head and, they end up taking Stella with her into one of the rooms to help get her cleaned up.
That is good. Little girl is very sweet, but very confused.
Yeah, Father Lucian nods his head. He's like, indeed, that that dear young lady was so full of life and so intelligent. She once had the strange idea that perhaps there's a cycle to all this madness and that one day someone could reveal it. But alas, I haven't seen her in quite some time. This deeply saddens me.
Well, hopefully she will be able to live better here, and we will talk to Lucy. Perhaps she can find guidance from her god and may be able to help in future.
He nods his head. He's like, I shall pray to the morning lord that whatever has crippled her mind can be once undone.
Thank you for your help, but we should probably get back. I wanted to bring little girl someplace safe before trying to help with the fire.
Fire?
Yes, I mentioned we found girl and there was a great big fire in the far end of town.
He kind of looks at you. He's like, oh no, I shall have to make sure that the church here is ready to take in refugees. We don't really have a whole lot in the way of poorhouses here.
Well,
Somehow, I think that the victims of this fire are well off enough to be able to afford something.
He kind of just strokes his beard. He's like, well, better to be safe than sorry. Come, lad. He points over the Yiska. Let's get ready to prepare the pallets and the bedding. We might be having some visitors here.
all right, we are going to get going. Yes. Thank you for your help with the little girl.
Anytime, my dear. May the morning Lord guide you.
All right, and Vika hurries out of church.
Alrighty.
Um, Vika thinks in the general direction of Linden. Are we within range? Like the city is smaller than a mile, or
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a mile from
okay.
one end to the other.
Um, are you guys still at Burning House? Where are they at this point?
so the Wachter house wasn't too far off from the middle of town, if I remember right. Let me pull up that.
I think it was toward the northern part.
Let's see here. So Valaki. Oh, come on, really? So I think the Wachter house was N6. No. Oh, N4. So the Wachter house was N4, and the church was N1. So yeah, you guys would be on the church is on the western side of town, and the Wachter house was on the complete opposite end. So, but that's within a mile. Probably closer to, I would say, probably about 2,000 feet.
Okay. Oh, before we leave, the guy who works outside, like the groundskeeper, right?
Yeah.
Um, we took the bones out, didn't we?
Oh, you're talking about
The- of the house, yes.
What did we do with them? Like, I'm assuming I'm
We
still carrying
have
them
them,
around.
yeah.
What was the guy's name again?
the coffin maker.
No, the guy that I stopped from making the stupid decision of digging up the bones.
Oh, this guy, Milojov, Milovoj.
Yeah, Milovoj.
Yeah, Milovoj.
Milovoj. I have favor to ask of you. Yes.
He goes, anything.
Um, I have found remains of unknown person. They are very old, but they need proper burial.
He
Do you think you could do this?
he nods his head. He's like, everyone deserves a proper burial and hopefully undisturbed.
Thank you very much. And I give him bones and I give him 5 gold.
Wow. Yeah, he's like on it. He hastily hurries up and runs to the other side and starts preparation immediately.
If anyone asks, don't tell them I brought them, yes?
He goes, brought what?
Exactly. Good lad. Alright, and let us get going.
All right, where you guys heading?
That is good question. So if others are still at house, we go back there. If they have left, then we go elsewhere.
Yeah, by the time you guys get to it, by the time you guys get to the church and start working on the plan to, or not the plan, but work on getting Stella situated and the bones buried, um, the Lucy and Parrot's adventure in the Flaming Household have already concluded.
Alright, well, now that I have skillfully sidestepped the need to have conversation with myself, um, I suppose we should find the others. Fuck, now I need to have a conversation with myself because we need to figure out where we're meeting. So, Quinn, where should we meet the others?
Probably at the inn where we've been staying.
Alright, so I tell Lyndon, meet at the inn where we've been staying.
All right.
Yes, indeed.
Alright, so let's go back to the inn. Maybe I can find a nice closet there.
Yeah, and
I can even
go
drag
in
a
it
chair
and
in there.
probably never come out.
I can drag a chair in there and never come out.
Yes, you lack chairs.
Chairs and closets, it's my thing. And if it wasn't before, it is now. So we're going back to the inn.
Yeah, back to the inn. Okay. These guys are all not here.
Right, change map.
We were at the Blue Water Inn.
Yep. So yeah, as you guys get back to the inn, it's actually pretty quiet and desolate. It seems like anyone that usually is here is either out putting out the fire or was at the festival and have not yet returned, with the exception of both Erwin and Danica.
Alright, so, that was another day and misadventures of whatever we are.
Yeah, as you guys all convene in the inn, you notice that both Lucy and Parrot have a bit of smoke that wasn't on them before.
Did you guys see the tiger? Man, that thing was something.
The tiger, did you see the fire?
You are looking a bit singed, yes?
Yes, the water house erupted. No one could get in. We tried. Apparently, her daughter was in there.
I saw the flames. I was busy. There was strange girl running about in the street. I brought her to church.
Danica and Erwin just kind of mind their own business as they're just kind of just taking stock and cleaning glasses and just kind of keeping things tidy.
Well, I think rescuing lost girls and trying to rush into burning houses, I think that is deserving of drink. Yes.
They look at each other and nod, and they pour whatever you guys been having the last few nights that you guys have been staying here. It's like on the house.
Oh, that is generous. Thank you.
Nods his
All
head.
right.
He's like anything for heroes, saving girls and distress and trying to go into a burning flame. There's not a whole less you can do to be considered a hero these days.
There is just the tiniest bit of guilt on Vika's face. She's still holding it together with a broad grin, but there's just the tiniest hint of guilt. So, what was our plan from here?
Well, I feel like we have accomplished what we needed to here in Valaki, did we not?
Thumbs up.
So we need to mosey along, I feel, to. Let me look at the map. Alright, we can go to Kresik. We still need to go there, do we not? As well as the dragon place.
No, I think Kresik got retconned. It's supposed to be Castle Ravenloft. No, that was like we covered that like right before we started playing. I think, right?
Yeah,
Am I remembering that right?
that's
Okay.
correct.
Alright, so we have found the wealthy woman, staunch ally of the evil, and dealt with that. Check. Find the leader of the feathered ones who live among the vines. Check. He waits for you in a place of wisdom, warmth, and despair. Great secrets are there. What is that? Did we find out what that meant?
I do not think so. I thought that was the one that was in the castle, and then I thought that was the one that was in the castle, and then
There was
like
two
the
for
other
the
one was
castle.
elsewhere. Oh, so that one's also in the castle.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess that means the only place we have to go is to our foreigner fossil permit. Can't remember the name of it.
Argen Volsalt. Argen Volsalt.
Argen Volsalt.
Yes.
Bless
So
you.
is on the west side of Luna River.
Yes. So if we head over the river and hang us a left,
Through the
we
woods.
should get there.
Grandmother's house.
Over the river and through the woods. Grandmother's house we go.
The way is clear and the light is good.
All right.
So that's 25 hexes roughly. So just over 3.5 miles through forested terrain, roughly. Well, it's a well-road road, so.
All right. So off we go. Do we need any supplies? Any things that anyone wants to buy?
I feel like we should probably rest and head out in the morning.
All right. It's probably good idea. Lyndon, did you need to go talk to your tiger owning friend again?
No, I think that following around a tiger person is stupid. And I never want to do that again.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm laughing at that.
You're a terrible person.
It's just the multiple people doing really bad Irish accents trying to mimic him.
What I would like to do is spend some quality time with this chair in this closet by myself.
Alright, so, alright. So, there is no need to pay for a room for Lyndon tonight. He is sleeping in closet.
As long as I can bring the chair in.
Don't worry
Christ.
about the small one.
I am making fun of Lyndon this badly. I do not want to know what would happen to one of my characters if I was not there for a session.
Your next character will be a eunuch, just you wait.
Oh god. Alright, so to the bed. I suppose. So we spend the rest of the day in tavern and then go to bed.
Yep, that sounds fine.
Alright. Oh, and I talked to Lucy about the need to remove powerful curse.
Um, I mean, let me think of what I have in my repertoire. Would I know if, like, lesser restoration would help?
You're gonna need greater.
Greater restoration? I thought so. I
Yeah.
don't have that yet.
Yeah, it's a 5th level spell.
Then perhaps
There's no other magical abilities you have that could remove curses?
I'm looking. Hold on. I don't know cleric spells.
man, it sure would be useful to have people who could remove curses. So 16-year-old little girls don't think they're kitties, and so that 40-year-old one-handed women aren't blue.
I
Boom,
mean,
got him.
I
40.
I'm 40. Thank you. I am 40 years old.
Wait, what was that?
I am 40 years old. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's what I said. 40 years old, right?
You said 30.
Did I? I thought I said 40. Okay.
So I could potentially do it tomorrow. I just need to prepare some stuff.
What do you need then? We could. There is still some light. We could look around for what you need.
It doesn't require much. I need to pray and meditate and get myself prepared.
Alright. So in the morning, we will pay visit to Miss Kitty before we go out.
Sounds like a plan. Just try not to get into too many horrible things. It takes a lot out of me to do it.
We will try our best.
That is always the plan.
And also before bed, I will take time to attune to my new sword.
Woo! Alright, so what are we doing right now then? Got attunement, got some meditation going on. Anything else?
I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, excuse me. So, as the attunement goes with Vika, this sort of kind of comes out a bit of a sad tone in the sense that it feels sorry for you.
It feels sorry for me?
Yeah,
Why does it feel sorry?
it hums out a warning as if it was trying to warn you.
What are you trying to warn about?
It sends
Is
out
it.
it,
Hmm?
it sends out a feeling of trying to protect you even though it also kind of lets out a feeling of danger afterwards.
I do not understand. Um, a feeling of danger afterwards.
Yeah. So as is saying a feeling that it wants to protect you, it also sends out a feeling that you're in danger, or it's afraid that it's going to endanger you.
It's afraid that it's going to endanger me.
Yeah.
Why would you bring danger?
And from there, it gets kind of silent.
We are already in danger here. Strahd has already taken two of our friends and has attacked us on more than one occasion. I think that we are already in grave danger.
It lets out kind of a sad, somber feeling.
But we will find way to get through this. We will find our revenge together, yes?
It chippers up a little bit.
Is good.
And Parrot, as you're kind of getting ready to fall asleep a bit, um, your Ifrit actually sends out a message of saying that it's feeling a little bit more confident since the last time you had a one-on-one with it, though it also lets you know that it's feeling a bit more reluctant about its chances.
So, like, is this just like a message type thing that is sent, or is it like, is he like straight talking to me? Like, does
Well, oh
this
yeah, right,
respond?
because yours actually straight talks to you. Yeah, it's actually talking to you. It's like, I I feel that our bond is stronger, but I don't know if it'd be enough.
Friends.
Yeah, he kind of he lets out a small growling sense, like, yes.
I will like minor illusion the party, and then I will minor illusion um, a Barlgura.
Barlgura.
Yeah, it's such a fun name to say. Friends.
You can tell that he's like he kind of your Ifrit just kind of goes, okay, we'll get stronger.
Hmm. I will make a visage of Strahd off in the distance and envision hurling fireballs like I do now, and then kind of nod at him.
He kind of gestures, throwing a fireball.
More.
Yeah, this time he creates a larger one and just kind of hurls it.
You're so nonchalant about this.
Well, he's your partner.
mm, mm. I will just kind of like seem really confident and puff up my what feathers I do have and just kind of like start Super Saiyan firing.
He kind of just laughs at that and he shakes his head. It's like,
I'm smiling at him as I'm doing this, by the way. Like, this
yeah,
isn't just me being intense.
yeah. Your Ifrit just kind of looks back at looks at you, just kind of shaking his head and kind of like this is ridiculous, but he kind of just mimics the same poses as you.
All right, and then I'm gonna give him the fist bump.
He fist bumps.
All right, thumbs up, and does he seem any better?
Yeah, yeah. You could tell that he's not as self conscientious about his weakness anymore, but you could definitely tell that he definitely just doesn't want a repeat of last time where he kind of emulated you on accident. Well, not with accident, but he forced. It was not in his uh, it was not his intention to emulate when Straw took control of his powers.
Okay, wait. So that actually changes things. Is he conveying that to me?
Yeah, yeah. He's basically he was just worried that he doesn't want to let the power pretty much fry you like you did last time at the vineyard.
That actually changes things a lot. That's why I was asking.
Oh,
Um, if that's the case, I would like broil with fiery energy, and then I would put out a visage of me and him throwing a fireball at me.
oh,
No, I'm serious.
oh. Okay. So are you asking your Ifrit to?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm asking.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, as your God, I hate to bring up a out of game reference, but it's kind of like that whole inner self thing that you see like in Naruto and other things. So yeah, he's like he shrugs and he just kind of he's like all right, and he just launches a fireball at you.
Okay. I very much want this to actually hit me.
Yeah, yeah, he launches it at you and you're because what you guys sure kind of what a just a so
For the record, since I leveled up, I actually have a resistance to fire damage.
okay. Well,
I
I'm
didn't at that point in time, but I do now.
okay. So you're just trying to let him try to actually hit you so that way
He sees that I can't be damaged,
gotcha. Okay, then yeah.
or that I won't be as damaged from stuff like that, so he can not be scared of it.
And this connection that you share between you and your Ifrit, that's more of a mental state that you two share together, or is it a realm thing where you go into a different plane type thing? I don't know if we've
I
ever.
I don't think this has ever been covered. I haven't really actually looked into that. I know that I gain aspects of him as I progress. So I gain the resistance to fire and access to more fire spells and things that enhance my connection with him. So I would say it's more like a bonding
Care
than
about
it is like me going to him. Like when I interact with him, it's more of for lack of a better term, I would say it's more like, well, since we already made a Naruto reference, we'll say Naruto and the Nine Tails.
Yeah. Yeah, it really doesn't say. It just says you make a pact.
Well, the pack just means that I basically derive my powers from him.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's a tiny object, power, respite, wrath, gift.
I'm just saying that's the
Yeah.
way I've kind of envisioned
Yeah,
it, is
yeah. I
that
was
it's
just
like
kind
a
of curious
bond
too.
with him.
Yeah, I just wasn't too sure if you guys, communicate. We really haven't really covered how you two actually communicate that, so I was like, oh, we probably should actually flesh that out right now because might need to come back to that. So yeah, I mean, you guys do your whole, interconnecting thing. He launches a fireball. He sees that you're not actually as damaged as he thought it was, and he kind of feels a lot more relieved at the fact that he knows he can't hurt you as much as you once were.
I'm more trying to show that our bond is we're stronger together. That's what I was trying to do the first time. So it's really hard to try and convey these things without saying the same things over and over.
No, no, it's
That
fine.
makes
It's a weird thing because even the game kind of just doesn't tell you how that bond is actually formed and keeps getting stronger. Just like, oh yeah, they just give you gifts.
it's because it's open to interpretation on how you write your backstory. But
Right.
that's the way I've envisioned it always is it's a bond that I have like he's very much a Jin and a badass in his own right, but I also understand the whole thing that happened with Strahd, and so I'm trying to like show that I'm working towards our goals.
Sure. Okay. So yeah, I mean, he feels relieved. He feels actually a little bit more at ease with the fact that you can't get singed as badly as you once did, and your bond strengthens because of it.
After I get hit by the fireball, I'm gonna kind of like not necessarily turn rabid, but kind of get a persona of just like almost insanity where I'm just like enjoying the fire.
Uh, yeah, he just kind of chuckles at that and kind of puts out his hand in an open gesture, like someone warming their hands on a fire.
All right, I'll give him a thumbs up.
All right, and yeah, with that, you're able to kind of get a good night's rest. And unless anyone else had anything that they wanted to do during the evening, it's next morning.
I mean, if I get up, I'm gonna go down and probably have something to drink, water or something.
Okay. Yeah, I mean they've got your standard goat's milk, water, and you know, sadly no such thing like juice or anything because fruit's kind of hard to come by. But at least they got goat's milk and water, and if you need it, ale and wine. Anyone else doing anything as you convey in the morning?
I don't think so.
I don't really have much I need to do.
No, I'd just come downstairs and hang out with Parrot.
Okay. So aside from getting your morning meal, any other business that you guys would wish to discuss before you move on to the next plan?
No. Maybe you guys should just leave me here and I'll stay here with the tiger guy. I don't know. I don't know what else Lyndon would want to do, so I'm just kind of.
No, though, that's fine.
He has been crazy focused on the guy with the tiger, and that's all I know.
Yeah, yeah, nothing out of the. Sadly, Tiger Guy's not there this morning, so.
Should should we check to see uh if people are all right from the fire?
I think showing off faces would be suspicious. I'll say under my breath, this way those two don't hear Danica and Erwin.
Yeah, they don't even pay any mind to it.
I suppose it's a good point. The poor people who lost house will need time to recover. They do not need to deal with strangers looking over their shoulder. All right. So I guess is everything
To the church.
to the church.
To the church! One more time. Alright, yeah, guys, get back to the church.
So, Father Lucian, we have returned to see if perhaps we can help the kitten girl.
His eyebrows lift and he's like, "Oh, is this the clerk you were talking about?"
Yes, sir.
Well, he motions over to Stella to come and puts his hand on hers and he's like, "Let these let these people help you. They might be able to make it to where you don't think you're a cat anymore. Stella just looks confused at that statement.
I'll go ahead and I'll walk up and I will grab her hand. Miss Stella, I'm so terribly sorry. Things might seem a little confusing for a second. And I will cast Remove Curse.
Okay. All right. Let me just double check. Because remove curse just deals with anything that requires just lesser restoration, though, or
Uh, at my touch, all curses affecting one creature or object end.
oh, doesn't
If
even
the object
specify.
is a cursed magic item, its curse remains, but the spell breaks its owner's attunement to the object so it can be removed or discarded.
Wow, so it doesn't even. Huh. Yeah, I mean that would be fine. Yeah, so it's just. Huh. All right. Yeah. Yeah. There's really no restriction aside from. Yeah. I guess the madness is just treated as a curse for the part of this. But yeah, for a second there, her eyes kind of roll back for a second. She shakes and then she comes back to her senses. She goes,
I'm ready to catch her if she falls.
"Yeah,
Vika's holding her. She was there. Absolutely.
yeah." It takes her a second and she kind of gets her says, "Oh, oh my, what happened?"
I was hoping that was something you could tell us.
She goes, "Father Lucian, where? Oh, I'm, I'm at the church. Where's my mom? Who are you?"
We are people who found you running about yesterday. You were acting strangely like small little kitty.
She
And
gets
you
pretty embarrassed hearing that.
Do you know who may have tried to curse you?
Let me think. And then for a second she gets really that blushing side of her suddenly gets turns into rage. That son of a whore, Victor. Oh, I don't know why I love that man, but I hated the moment he told me that he'd rather be with a cat than with me. You could tell that she starts. I wouldn't say foaming at the mouth, but you could tell that she is seething in rage right now.
does anyone know a Victor?
That was the burgomaster's son.
I was thinking so, but I wasn't positive.
Vika hadn't met him. That's why
Oh,
she was asking.
That would be the Burgomaster's son.
He cursed an innocent girl? From sound of it, when you had spoken to him, he was not bad.
That's what we thought.
Lucy, you go
Uh,
ahead and roll me an Arcana check real quick.
Also, can I insight check her to see if
I
she's
was
actually being truthful?
Yeah,
I was
go ahead.
thinking the same thing. Can I as well?
Yeah, go ahead.
Dirty 20.
Good fucking god!
Well, I'm glad you rolled well, because mine went from a 13 to a 5. So
That's my fourth natural 20 tonight.
Good lord.
Admittedly, one of them was for Lyndon, but still.
Do not close that tab. That is the tab you're using tomorrow.
Yeah, I maybe.
I
So,
don't like these dice anymore.
so Lucy, from what you can piece together, and from what you remember from Victor's spellcasting, you definitely remember that he's a very shoddy magic caster, and there was probably a mishap with him inflicting his will upon her without realizing he was drawing upon magic at the same time. That curse you just broke wasn't all that powerful, but the intent definitely was the cause of the issue.
I I understand that you're very upset, but not to pacify his role in this or to try and pacify you. I don't think he meant to do that.
So it sounds like abuse apologism.
No, no, no. I think maybe he just couldn't control what he was doing. That curse that was on you was fairly weak.
Either that or he was just a terrible
End of
magician.
thought.
Yeah. Either way, perhaps I should accidentally not realize my own strengths and go have a chat. And Vika just cracks her knuckles.
Stella kind of gives you that, gives you a nod of approval. She looks at Father Lucian. Do you know how long I've not been seen in town, Father? And Father Lucian's like, oh, let's see, a couple months? And Stella just gets even more. She lets out a scream of rage. It's like, I have been a cat for months, and all my mother did was what did my mother do? That's a little
She
fuzzy.
locked you into a room and forgot about you.
Are we actually saying that?
I
I'm
am.
No,
gonna whisper that into her ear so the father didn't know.
it- that is the only supposition we can come up with. We found you in very dirty clothes. You looked like you had not been properly cared for some time.
Very dirty.
I hear that Ismar kind of put their hands on her shoulder and it's like, there.
Yeah, no, let's definitely coddle her. That'll make the truth sound much better when she finally learns about it.
Vika stomps on Quinn's foot.
Ow!
Stella lets out
We
a long sigh and just kind of goes, well, suppose I should not go back home. Apparently, my own family did not do much to deal with the situation. Father Lucian just kind of looks at it, he's like, you're more than welcome to stay here. Still that spare bedroom.
I'm gonna look at her and be like, Strahd?
She kind of looks at you and raises an eyebrow. What
Uh,
about... Hmm?
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, she's like, what about Lord Lord Von Zarovich?
I'm gonna point at her and be like, thumbs up, shrug my shoulders, thumb down, shrug my shoulders.
um, what are your thoughts on Strahd?
I'm gonna point at her excitedly.
She kind of just lets out and say, look, my father and mother, don't get me wrong, they're they really don't want to make the main proprietor of our sorrow a angel, but he has done us a bit of a favor and a respite, and why our family has not ever been targeted, but I'm not a fan of the man either.
I think this is getting a little heavy for a girl who is still recovering. Yes, need time to catch your breath. Um, do you want to watch as I have chat with Victor, or do you want to rest here for day? Yes.
She kind of goes, a rest would be nice, and Maybe the father can catch me up on recent events.
It's good. Rest well and feel better. And Vika reaches out and just pats her on the head one more time.
Surprisingly, she actually kind of pushes her head into that palm on more like a reflex. And she kind of
It's not. It's not meant to be demeaning. Just kind of,
no. Like it's a familiar sense to her that her body still reacts to, so she kind of goes into it, and she kind of gets an embarrassed. Like, I don't know why I did that. It just felt like I had to.
Side effects may last for 3 to 5 days. Sorry.
It's not so strange. Yes. Grandfather used to pat me on head when I was a good calf.
Go ahead and roll with persuasion with advantage on that one.
Persuasion. Sure. Where's my natural 20? Nope. 17.
Yeah, she kind of she took those words to heart and she kind of went, oh, okay, well, if you're not embarrassed, I'm not embarrassed.
Alright, so, does anyone mind if we put our plans on hold for just another hour? I need to, have a chat with someone.
I suppose.
Might
Um,
sell tickets.
I'm gonna motion to Lyndon to give me the like mind thing.
Lyndon gives you the mind thing, and also, because I don't feel like talking to myself, Quinn and Tilda.
Don't
Why
forget
not?
don't forget to increase duration or roll for duration because I think you have to roll for the hour, don't
Yes,
you?
I do. I need to look up the thing for
I think it's a 1d6.
it. Is a 1d8.
Oh, it's off one. Okay, good for reference.
I think it's because he leveled up. I think it.
Yeah, it goes to D8 at 5th level.
Okay. So I'm gonna talk to Lyndon and I'll be like,
7 hours.
awesome. I really think that we need to either commit to doing something in the house with more than just Victor, or we need to get out of here, not both. I feel like if we enter there and don't get what we need done, we're going to have more problems than we have currently. And I want him to relay that too. You guys, preferably quietly.
Parrot says that it'll take a while if we go to the Burgomaster's house. So we should either commit to going there or leaving the city.
He has a point. Can we talk about this while we walk instead of in front
I
of them?
I feel like we did our good deed by rescuing her and breaking the curse and all that. While this kid sucks, do we think that he did it like with malice aforethought?
He did not. That's. He did not.
We do not know this until we talk to him, but either way, I mean, stealing someone's brain is stealing someone's brain is terrible.
Oh, I agree, but is this what
Everybody
we
here
are?
sucks. Like,
If you run over someone with horse, even if accidental, you are still responsible for running someone over with horse.
our responsibility is Strahd, not town politics and douchebags.
It's not town politics. It's just protecting young girl from very bad young boy.
Not protect, revenge.
Did you see the look on her face? No, she does not need protecting.
All I'm saying is if we do this, we're still caught in this political bullshit. And frankly, I feel like we should be elsewhere.
Parrot thinks that we should be elsewhere because it's going to be political bullshit.
I'm kind of inclined to agree, but I will go with Vika's take on this subject.
I mean, I'm not going to argue with giant angry person, but just forethought.
I just do not like men who mistreat and hurt women. Is wrong.
I fully understand. I very personally do not like people hurting other people, but I feel like everybody in this town just sucks. They're all jerks.
Little girl was not a jerk, was victim.
How do you know?
Because she was made into a cat.
Look at her mother.
Oh, so now it is all about parents that no one can be different from their parents. That they are just as evil and are as culpable for all of the misdeeds of their sires.
You really seem that different to you?
She did not ask us to go and murder people so that she can take control of city so that she can hand it over to vicious hungry vampire.
She just said Strahd was somewhat okay.
She said that she did not have strong feeling one way or other because he had never hurt her, but did not like that he hurt others.
Somewhat okay.
That is not what I heard, just ambivalence.
Am I wrong?
All right, Vika. You see this house here that we're walking past?
Yes?
That is the home of the Andersons. There is Mr. and Mrs. Anderson and their three lovely children. And he works in the mill and works there 8 hours a day and comes home at night and everything is perfectly fine. But then he has a few drinks and then he goes upstairs and when his children aren't behaving or if they haven't done their chores after he's had a few, he will take out his anger on them and is physically abusive and lashes out at them. That is not right. That is a terrible thing for him to do. Are we going to go into his house and drag him out in the middle of the night and beat him bloody until he stops?
If his children come running to me and ask for help, then yes. No?
But it's not even asking for help. We're asking to get justice, quote unquote, for wrongs done. We
But
could mete out justice for every single person who has been done wrong in this city.
there is
Where will that
difference
leave us?
from looking for others to mete out justice for and for assisting those that we've met who have come to us.
I'm sorry, that gif though.
Yep. There is difference though from ignoring what is right in front of you and going looking for it. That is all I'm saying.
It sounds like you're looking for it.
But I am not. It was brought right in front of us from girls that we are already involved with. Especially considering what we did. Even if she wanted to go home, there is no home.
I understand you want to help her, and it goes against my very nature to say that we need to move on. But we all have lives that were left behind for us that we need to move closer to. If we wind up continuing trying to help with their politics, it puts us further from the end goal. I need to get home and I need this to move forward. We can't get stuck here.
When we pass through this place again on our way to the castle, I am dragging that boy out and giving him a hiding.
That is more than reasonable.
We'll be here for it.
Fine, let us go then to the place of dragons. Yes.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Anything else that you guys want to do on the way out of town? Nope. Okay. Alrighty. So now I need to roll a d12 and a d8 for see what random encounter we deal with on the way out there. I don't believe that there's anything. Oh, never mind. All right, so I'm just gonna move us onto the forest path map because that's usually our go-to in case something actually does happen. All right. The road comes to an X at the intersection with branches to the northwest, northeast, southwest, and southeast. The lower half of a snapped wooden signpost thrust upward at an angle near the eastern elbow of the intersection. The top half of the sign, featuring arms pointing in four directions, lies in the weeds nearby. And now I need to roll that d12 and d8 to see what happens. A 12. 12 during the daytime. What happens here? Oh. Alright. So, let me see if I tap out. Alright. So, go ahead and rearrange yourselves as to what would be your guys' marching order.
What are we on? Forest path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I would assume probably Vika in front, if not Kven, because he is good with forest places.
Yeah, I'm
I
probably up front with Vika.
will stay closer to the front as well.
I'll stick around back just in case anything comes from behind.
I just kind of shooting for mid wherever we're stacking up. So
Okay. And I will roll 2d6 for that. Okay.
Lyndon, I guess, is just in the middle of the group complaining that he had to leave behind his comfy closet and chair.
You know, sometimes you just need that chair, man.
If
I
you'd
thought you were
like,
gonna say
next time,
sometimes you just need to be in the closet.
It's just hard to get out of it.
if you'd like, next time we're in town, I can marry you to the chair. I know the ceremony and everything.
Then you
that
can
is
get, what is it, like +1 AC or something, as long as you're with your
+2.
+2 AC, so long as you're with your significant other.
Alright. And then let's see, do these things have okay, I'll roll a d20 real quick. Alright, anyone have a passive perception 14 or higher?
Yes, I have a
Yes,
15.
I have a 15.
Okay. Excellent. So they will not get the drop on you.
Oh, that sounds good.
That's great.
Cool. So you do not instantly die.
How big is this pack?
It's a pack of 8.
Oh, good God. Who did I just hear? Oh.
Wild Linden has shown up. You don't have to talk to yourself now.
Oh, that is good. It is hard to keep the accent properly going when I'm trying to differentiate between the two different people. There it is. I sort of did it that time. Without fucking it up too much.
So this way, you're married to a chair, but she stayed home so this way she could watch the children.
And you live in a closet.
Okay, so
I really hope he hears this.
Same.
Don't mind me. I'm just listening at this point.
So you don't want to join in because it looks like we're about to fight things.
I am lying in my bed. I was just popping in to check in to see what was going on, and apparently you guys got into a fight. So that's good.
Yeah, we're getting into a fight, and if you didn't hear a second ago, you are married to a chair and living in a closet.
And have at least 11 babies.
What does that mean?
Exactly what she just said.
Exactly
Unfortunately.
what we said.
all right, go ahead and roll
Refer
for
to
initiative.
previous GIF. Oof.
So as you guys are walking down the forest path, fog gets up a little thick, and thankfully, with the watchful gaze of two of your members up front, they are able to warn you that there is a large pack of direwolves that are closing in on your location fast. So they did not get the drop on you this time.
Can we react to them showing up?
No, you guys you caught them stealthily trying to get to you, so they're aware of you as you're aware of them.
So I assume we are rolling for initiative.
Yeah, roll for initiative. If you already haven't.
I forgot that I get advantage now.
Ooh, go, natural one.
Oof.
I got a 17.
Better.
I don't think you've ever rolled a high initiative, Snugs.
I feel like I did in like the last one.
Okay.
Oh, now that you're here to access things, you did use your psychic, make people talk to each other thing on Parrot, Tilda, and Quinn for 7 hours. I don't know if there's like a box to check off for that.
You get to do that once a day for free, and then everything else I spend afterwards.
Okay. So that was your freebie.
Okay.
Alright, so H goes first.
Does somebody have a map up?
Yeah, I'll stream
can
it if
stream
you
it.
need it.
Gotta go after, get a haunch of. Alright. So 1 bite attack. Yeah, that will hit Parrot. For 12 points of piercing damage, and Parrot, make me a strength saving throw.
Oh, this is going to go terribly. That is a 7.
Yeah, you're knocked prone. Alright, Direwolf E. Unsnap all of you from the grid, please. There you go. No. Alright, double move, that's it. Okay, Lucy.
There's a wolf at you.
There are 2. Oh goody. I am going to Sacred Flame, the one that just came running for me.
Okay. That's E.
Dex 15 save.
Nat 1.
Hey!
Just as a heads up, if anyone had used anything the previous day, we had taken a long rest.
Yeah, I forgot to hit the button until just now.
There's 6 points of damage right in its face.
Okay.
Nerd.
And then that was my action, and it was a cantrip. So, bonus action, I am going to summon. You know what? Screw it. I've never been able to use it before. A 3rd level spiritual weapon.
Oh
Dun
snap!
dun dun.
Oh my.
Do I have a token for that anymore?
You did have one for the like giant thing that Ant had.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to see if I, because I moved libraries, but I didn't move all the assets over, which is.
And my weapon is actually going to look like a little straw doll, like a little girl would play with.
Oh, or. Let me see if I can find it all then. I might not actually have one in.
Can you import pictures or do you like.
I can if I had the PNG file to import right off the bat. I don't know if I've got it in this one or not. No, those are just player tokens, cards, dice, markers. Let's see. Got some random. Uh, yeah, I don't even have a freaking doll tile. What the hell? Search doll. Well, that's odd. Yeah, I might actually have to go through and grab some of those old reference tokens from the other campaign because I don't.
So you can't just like Google straw doll and like import a picture?
Yeah, I would have to find a PNG file of it. That's the only one that this thing takes. I'm trying to see if I've got a. I mean, I've got chairs, chests.
You can just put anything up there, it's fine.
Yeah, I'll just have to make a note of it to find an actual doll for you, so that way, like, just let me know what type of picture of the doll that you want, and then I can convert it. I've got a Photoshop, so I can convert most image files into uh, PNG without any issue. So
Does that work?
Okay.
I just Googled straw doll PNG.
um, PNG web. Can I download this, please? Download this PNG. Close. Close the ad, please. Yes, I'm a human. Motorcycles. Okay, and open file location, downloads.
Maybe I should have used one of the funnier ones.
It's fine. We'll have a better one next time. Doll. And then I need to throw this into an actual location. So, boom. And then refresh. Rescan. And rescan. There it is. Boom. You have a doll. It just doesn't have a border on it.
Okay, that's fine. I'm assuming I cannot attack with it when I summon it.
when I summon it.
You should be able to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you should. Oh, let me unsnap it for you.
Alright.
There you go. Now you should be able to move it freely.
And since I can do that, she's gonna bonk the dire wolf attacking parrot on the head.
Okay, so she's gonna bonk H. Okay.
Which is a dirty 20 to hit.
Damn. Yeah, that bonks it.
Which is 5 points of damage. Is it really only a 1d8 at level 3?
No, that shouldn't be right at level 3.
Yeah, it's a 1d8 plus 4. At level 2, it says it's a 1d8 plus 4 as well.
Hang on.
I think it goes up 1d8 every 2 levels.
Oh, is that what it is?
I think so.
Yeah, it's every 2 levels.
Yeah, but 3rd level or higher, the damage increases by 1d8. You cast it at 3rd level.
Yeah.
So it should be 2d8. Yeah. For every 2 slots, using a spell slot of 3rd level or higher, the damage increases by 1d8 for every 2 levels above 2nd. Okay, that's confusing.
Then that's up to the DM.
No, it is 1d8. You'd have to cast it at 4th, I guess. It's just the phrasing
Yep.
is bad.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you're better off casting it at 2nd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you cast that as a second since the verbiage is a little wonky.
Awesome.
Either way, 5 points of damage to the direwolf attacking parrot.
Okay.
And then that's my turn.
Okay, Vika.
All right. Well, there are already 2 wolves over there, and I do not want the others getting close, and so I'm going to I'm going to draw out my new glowing sword, and I'm going to let me see a moment. Where is it? Giant's might. I'm going to grow extra large and go charging at one of the wolves.
Oh, okay.
This sealed out. And I'm going to attack. Surprise, surprise. 28 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hurt. Didn't wanna try to bribe it with snacks.
Strangely enough, no. 15.
Ouch.
Radiant, if it matters. No, the dire wolf does not. And the second attack is 23 to hit
Mm-hmm.
and is 15 damage. And I think that is it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a bonus action. Yep, that is it.
Okay.
That is my turn.
All right, that one that you just struck will try to strike you back, and it'll miss. All right, that's it. Matilda.
Okay, I am gonna rage and swing at Direwolf H.
Okay.
26 to hit.
Yep.
8 damage.
Okay.
And then again. 20 hit.
Yep.
11 damage.
Okay.
And that's all.
All right. Oh, okay. All right. So A is next. And now it gets advantage for pack tactics. Okay, that'll hit. For 13 points of piercing damage, and Vika make a strength saving throw.
I am going to use my reaction to do the 3 psychic damage in the pushback
Oh, okay.
after this.
19.
Okay, yeah, I'm not knocked prone. Okay, and then 10 from you, right?
Yeah, 10 away. Wait, why that way? No, not from me, from her.
Oh,
It's 10 from me because I'm holding
Whoever
on to
has the
stick.
talisman.
oh, okay. Which way then?
So it would be
10
towards
away
the group.
from me. Yeah, toward the group.
Okay. All right. B. Wow, even with advantage I missed. So nothing from him. G. Okay. Oh, and he still gets advantage from pack tactics because at least one of the creature wolf allies is within 5 feet of the creature.
Yay, pack tactics.
Yeah, and wow, okay. Missed on that one. On Quinn. So C's next. Yeah.
I love how this is going.
I do not like this.
This is not looking good for our heroes. I tried to distract them, but here we are.
Okay, 10 points of piercing damage to Quinn and strength saving throw.
You got 2.
I did.
Okay, 10
Is that something?
Yep, 10 points of piercing damage.
strength. Oh, good. It's a 6.
Yep,
Oh boy.
you're prone.
Nice.
And then wrapping up is F, who is just gonna nom on some Quinn.
I like how I go charging into the wolves and they all run by and just attack Quinn.
Alright, another 10 points of piercing damage to Quinn. Alright, and Lyndon's next.
All right. Well, this is awful. Let's. I'm not sure I like any of my options here. We got one on Vika that's pretty hurt. And which one did Parrot is attacking Parrot? Is that the one in front of him?
H,
The only
yeah.
one that can attack me.
Okay. I'll go after the one on. I mean, normally I want to focus fire, but we did some damage to the one on Parrot, right?
Yeah, Matilda did some damage on H.
We lay into that one here.
Okay.
I'm not moving. I'll probably just take 2 attacks. Right. 17.
Yep, that'll hit.
So that'll do 6 psychic damage there, plus my sneak dice. Got 46, which is great. So 15 more damage there.
Okay, that one's down.
Okay. And then my second bonus attack will go at the one that Vika has hurt a lot.
D. Okay.
23 hits.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, it's only 8 psychic damage. Maybe that's enough.
Yep, it's dead.
Whew. Look at that. Stealing the kills. And yeah, I'm kind of pinched down because there's the butt of this wolf right next to me. So, um, I will. I'm gonna move me. So move me over behind Tilda. Yeah, and then whatever. If I have to take attack opportunity or whatever, let's do it. So
All right, let's see here. Oh, that misses.
beautiful. All right, that is my turn.
All right, Quinn.
Thank you.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Um. Okay. Well, first, I guess my bonus action is going to be to activate my flame right on my weapon, on my hand crossbow. Hey, I only take 1 damage. Then I am going to kip up and take the crossbow and shove it into the mouth of Direwolf C and fire it twice. First attack is a 15
That'll hit.
for 12 points of piercing damage, as well as 5 points of fire damage. All right, second shot. That is a 29
Ow.
for another 12 points of piercing, as well as 6 points of fire. I dealt 1 point less than the maximum amount I can do with 2 attacks.
That was the C.
Yes.
Okay. Yep, still up.
All right, I kipped up, so I'm standing again presently. Tomorrow, who knows? Or the next round, who knows?
Right. Anything else from Quinn?
Oh, that was half my movement, action, bonus action. If I take the rest of my movement, I get 4 opportunity attacks. Pass.
Oh, okay. All right, Parrot.
I'll take an opportunity attack. I'll take 2, but I won't take 4.
And the only direction that you can move is back, which would put you in line with another one. So if you wanted to move away from that one, it would be 5.
Yeah, if I wanted to move away from all of the combat, I would take an opportunity attack from all of the living dire wolves except for 1.
Yep.
I don't have the movement to also take 1 from that one, but if I could, I could. Yeah, I'm done.
All right, Parrot.
Just deeply irritated that I rolled a natural 1 on my initiative.
At least you still made it above me. I have a weird question.
Okay.
So, if I were to make myself hover using a bonus action, do I technically have to get up? Or can I just hover away?
The rules on prone is a prone creature's only movement option is to crawl unless it stands up thereby ends the condition.
Oh,
But
I
that
still
isn't a
plan
movement.
on.
That is a bonus action.
That's what I'm saying. I don't necessarily have to get up. Can I just lay down and hover myself? Because I can essentially cause myself to hover and just hover away with that. I guess it doesn't really matter either way, but
I mean, how high does your hover make you hover, though?
I'm assuming just off the ground from the sounds of it.
Probably like an inch off the ground.
Yeah, you would still need to do the movement to actually raise you up because you're technically laying flat on the ground at this point. So even if you hover,
Okay, well,
still on the
it doesn't
ground.
matter either way then. I'm going to stand up, And
The prone condition does not have a requirement that the creature be on the ground. In fact, even flying creatures and swimming creatures can be considered prone.
Huh.
I googled it.
Okay. Well, there we go.
well, that's part of the reason I was asking, because I was just gonna hover back this way, like 30 feet. Dang, that's tough. Well, if it depends. So, are we going with the can't
I
or
mean,
can get up?
you're
Like, how do you want to go about this?
like if your hover moves you 30 feet, that's fine. Then you can still take your normal action to stand up.
I literally
In
make
half your
myself
movement speed.
technically fly. It's called elemental
Right.
gift.
But you're still considered prone.
Yeah.
So you would have to spend half of your movement to stand up, or get yourself unprone. Prone is apparently a misnomer from the description given by Jeremy Crawford. Like, if you are, for example, knocked prone underwater, you're still subjected to the effects of the prone condition as normal. One way to visualize it is that you're floundering. So you're not laying down underwater, but you're struggling to right yourself or whatever. So if you were to make yourself hover while prone, you're just in a very awkward position and can't move yourself properly.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, I stand up, walk back 50 feet.
Looking at the ability too, the ability says, in addition, as a bonus action, you can give yourself a flying speed of 30 feet that lasts for 10 minutes, during which you can hover. So that is still, you use the bonus action to give yourself the ability, but you would have to move.
Well,
So
that's what I'm saying. So it doesn't matter. I have to get up either way. I just
Yeah.
I didn't understand that that's how prone exactly worked. Okay, stand back and then. Yeah, I don't think I need to do that for right now. Sorry, that changes everything. I'm not trying to.
I sense a fireball was coming.
No, I wouldn't fireball with that many people around. That's a bad idea. Okay, well, since I'm not doing the bonus action, I'm going to use that to cast Hex on Direwolf A.
Hex.
And I'm going to do the Dex as the disadvantage.
Okay.
And wing 2 Hex, or 2 Eldritch Blast at it. Ooh.
Yeah, that'll miss.
Gross. That'll hit, though.
Oh yeah.
So for the second one, that's 12 points of force, 2 points of fire, and gross, 1 point of necrotic. That's my turn.
Okay. All right, back to the top. Direwolf H is dead. So E gets to attack Lucy with advantage.
Why does it have advantage?
Pack tactics.
Dex.
Yeah, 19 will hit Lucy for 14 points of piercing damage.
You said 13?
14. All right, and then it's Lucy's turn.
Bonk.
you mess with Tatonk, you get the debonk.
That's a 19 to hit.
Oh, that's good. You can hit.
I miss Antheus.
That's a 12.
Ooh.
That's not. Is that my action?
Bonus action
To bonk it.
with the weapon, yeah.
So you can still cast a spell or a cantrip or make an attack.
That's why that spell is so powerful. Also, not concentration.
Exactly.
That
Eh,
part still kind of blows my mind.
yeah, but I get it.
And now that I have bonked it, I am going to. I'll use a third level, I guess. Um, can I go ahead and cast Vampiric Touch and use it against it?
So, Vampiric Touch just adds,
It'll
well,
hurt them with necrotic and then heal me.
yeah, I don't see why not. Because it doesn't. Well, hold on. Is that a.
I cast it on myself, it's concentration, and then I make a uh,
Attack.
ranged spell attack at them.
No, you make a melee spell attack, not ranged.
Oh, sorry, melee.
It's only different if,
Ah,
like, for
yeah.
example, it's laying on the ground, it's not considered ranged, and you don't disadvantage and shit like that.
Yeah, that's fine. You can do that because I'm reading it right now. It says cast, then attack. So it's within the spell itself. So, yep.
Yeah, it's part of the spell to cast it and attack with it, and then you can also, as an action on each of your turns, use it again until you break your concentration.
Gotcha. That's a 14 to hit.
14 hits.
That's 15 points of damage, and then I heal 7
Okay.
because I heal for half.
All right. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Vika.
Alright. One moment. Alright. Vika is going to circle around, and yes, I know I get attack of opportunity from Wolf B.
Yeah. He misses.
Alright. And, I'm going to attack Wolf C.
Okay.
Um, action. Oof. 12.
12 will not hit.
Attack again. 20.
Oh, that will.
That is 17 damage.
Okay, and C is dead.
Alright. Alright. Then I will come and stand on cold dead corpse of C. Take another attack of opportunity from A.
That one will hit
Alright.
for 8 piercing damage.
Sure. And I'm going to attack Wolf F. This action surge.
Action charge.
I do not like how they are teaming up on Kvin. 20 to hit.
Yep.
10 damage.
10 to F.
And second attack is wow, now I'm rolling all the 10s. 20 to hit.
Yep.
And 12 damage.
Okay.
I've not used my bonus action. So, with my bonus action, I am going to. Where is it? Yep. Hang on one sec. Yeah, that's what I thought. With my bonus, I'm going to attempt to knock it back.
To your horns.
Yeah, I'm going to use hammering horns, and I'm going to attempt to shove. It's a DC 16 strength saving throw.
Makes it.
So it does not get pushed back. Okay. Well, it was a try. What I had. That is my turn.
Okay. So Direwolf D is dead, and Matilda.
I am gonna come over here and attack A.
Okay.
12 hit.
No.
Okay, and then I'm gonna try again. 21.
Yep.
10 damage.
10 damage to A.
And then that's my turn.
Okay. A is going to attempt to strike. Matilda. Oh, nat 20.
Oh shit.
Thingy.
Oh,
Thingy.
okay. You do your thing. That's fine.
It's still a 20 to hit, but it is not a natural 20.
Does not crit.
It does not crit.
Oh no, it was a nat 20.
Right,
No,
but
no,
she's
her ability
perfect.
negates the crit.
Oh, right. Oh, I thought you
So it'll
guys.
still hit, but it negates the crit.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I heard the opposite. Okay. 11 points of piercing damage.
Cut in half because I'm raging.
Yeah. So 5. All right. And B. Where's B? Gets advantage. Alright, that'll hit. 14 points, so 7 because you're raging. To Matilda. Alright, and then we go to G. Oh, real quick, Matilda, make a strength saving throw. I'm pretty sure you'll probably make it.
And I have advantage. $21.
Yeah, you're fine. Alright, anyway. Oh, said. Anyway, back to G. Attack Quinn. Oh, nat 1. So nothing there.
It's wait. No, miss.
Oh.
Jesus.
He was being a smart ass.
I'm using my reaction though to attack it.
Oh, okay.
That's Sentinel though.
That's Sentinel. Aw. Oh, there we go. Okay, 19.
Yep.
Sorry, on my die it looks like a 2, but it's a 9. That's weird. It's just like, I guess, the way the art looks. 14.
14 to G. Okay. C is dead. F. Alright. I will attack Quinn. Advantage. 11s will miss. I rolled
Correct.
I had rolled 2 6s on that. Alright, Lyndon.
All right. We're gonna attack the one that Lucy is in front of Lucy. I want to say.
E. Yeah. She's been bonking E.
This nonsense out of the way. All right. Oh, sweet Bippy.
God.
Oh
Are
shit.
you ready? Are you ready for an explosion of glory? Oh, yes, you are.
Dear God.
Let's go, Captain Killsteel.
He comes back just to steal the kills.
He has stolen my natural 20 as I was on a roll earlier.
In fairness,
Come on
were
now.
you only rolling those for him?
No, I rolled
To get
one of
my-
them for him and the other ones were mine.
There we are. Have fun with it.
No, 2 of them were from him.
31 more damage plus
Jesus
the other
Christ.
whatever the hell I rolled.
So 43
43.
damage.
Yeah, that poor
Jesus.
wolf's mind just explodes.
Oh yes, I feast on the power of the brain.
Christ.
All right, I'm going to use my reaction to use Curse of the Fallen Puppet on
Right.
from Direwolf E to have it bite at Direwolf G. And because one of its allies is within 5 fucking feet of it, it gets advantage.
Yeah, it. Let's see here. That's gonna be 10 points of damage to G.
Can it also make it fall prone?
Damn right it can. Make a strength saving throw, bitch.
Yeah, it fails. So yeah, G is prone.
Ranged attacks have disadvantage on things that are prone.
Unless you're within 5 feet.
Yeah.
Well, I am not within 5 feet. Or is, anyways.
Okay, so
Uh,
just for clarity,
who am I-
Direwolf A is dead and currently being puppeted, and B is prone, correct?
Direwolf E just got myrtleated by Lyndon,
E,
and
okay.
on its and before it could fall, Quinn reached out and used the blood in its body to puppet it into biting its ally and wrestling it to the ground before it died.
So that was that E attacking G before
Okay.
it died.
Okay.
All that's done and it's dead. It's not like
Yeah,
I
it's
can
not
keep
it's
doing
not
it.
sticking around.
I'll hit one of the ones in front of Tilda since that one's disadvantage to me. Unless is the one in front of Vika there pretty hurt or no?
F. I think they're all pretty much have taken some. Yeah, F's hurt.
Sure, I'll throw my bonus attack at F. That will miss with an 11. So,
Yeah.
all right, well, I'm reeling in my psychic power explosion. So, and I think I'm fine where I'm at. I'm not too worried right now. I think we've got these guys tied down. So, all right,
All right.
that's my turn.
Quinn.
All right, bitch. Hey, literally, motherfucker. All right, prone.
Actually, that one is a male.
Son of a bitch.
There you go.
All right, prone condition. Attack roll against the creature has advantage if the creature was within 5 feet of the creature. So that means it's my turn for advantage, motherfucker. Like I needed that much. I hit with a 4.
Hey, but that
Fishing for them crits.
yeah.
That's a 22.
Yep.
I'm gonna re-roll that because of my piercer feat for an extra 1 damage. So 8 points of piercing damage
Hey, 1 damage is 1 damage.
and 4 points of fire damage.
So is that 12?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. So that's dead. G is dead. So.
All right. Well, then I will point my crossbow did at F then. Not at advantage. That is only a 21. Or 8 points of piercing damage and 2 points of fire damage.
To F.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
And bonus action, do it again. That's a 19 to hit. So I'm assuming hit.
Yep.
9 points of piercing damage and 6 points of fire. So
15.
15.
Is dead.
All right. And I'm just going to dive through the bodies of the wolves and
Get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out. All right, that's my turn.
All right. Parrot.
All right. So to start, I'm going to Eldritch Blast the one currently hexed. Hopefully rolling better than I have been. Hey, there we go. 26 to hit.
Is good.
For 12 points force, 2 points fire, and if I can get to it. Why are you in a weird spot? 5 points of necrotic.
Is dead.
All right. I just had my turn. My reaction's back. Doing it again. Direwolf is going to attack Direwolf B. Bitch.
It misses.
Damn.
Boo.
Alright, bonus action, move Hex to Direwolf B and second attack. 21 to hit.
Good.
What is it with the 12 points of force damage, 2 points of fire, and another 5 points of necrotic.
Okay.
And that's my turn. That's everything I got. Oh, sorry. Take that back. And then my ass is going to run away.
Alrighty.
Now,
Oh, you good?
yeah, I'm done.
Okay, Lucy.
I'm gonna continue my game of whack fuck here.
Whack-a-wolf.
I'm gonna hit it with Vampiric Touch first.
Oh no.
That's a 16 to hit.
I'll hit.
That's 9 points of necrotic damage. And then bonk, which is a 22 to hit,
He's good.
which is 8 points of damage.
Okay.
And then that's my turn.
Alright, Vika.
All right. I'm going to take swing. Sun sorting it. I am stabbing it with beam of light. 29 to hit.
Yep.
That is 16 damage.
Tell me how you put this poor pup down.
I will just stab it at the base of neck. And stab it through spine. I'm just sort of aiming down. It is very small compared to me. Well, maybe not very small. How big are dire wolves? Actually,
Large beast.
they are large. So it is similar in size. I guess I'm just going to stab it through the neck. It's simple and clean. Well, not clean, but simple and quick.
Okay.
That is all.
Alright. Hey, you killed it. Killed them all.
You know, I have to admit, at least I do not need to clean this sword. Is much time saver.
Yeah, sort of proves. Alright.
What was that all about? Are we just walking down the road here, and that we were just come upon by these dire wolves?
Yes.
Seems like it.
It's a fairly apt description of what just happened.
Well, I'm surprised this sort of thing doesn't happen more. Oh no, there's more of them coming up.
Well, good.
Alright.
So, do we want to put some space between us and Zemens and take a bit of a lunch break?
That would be prudent.
Thumbs up from me.
I like that plan.
All right. So we take we walk a ways away and take a short break.
Okay. Yeah, nothing happens on your short break.
All right.
Did anyone get seriously injured doing that?
Nothing that a little rest wouldn't take care of.
Yeah, save your spells. That's what a short rest is for.
Alright, so do want to get you guys to the next map before we call it a night with a brief intro. So as you guys continue down the winding road after your short rest, you come across a opening, and high above the river valley, juts a promontory, uh, quiet promontory upon which looms a sepulchral mansion, its turrets capped with a fairy tale cones, its towers lined with sculpted battlements. A third of the structure has collapsed, as has part of the roof, but the rest appears intact. A dark octagonal tower rises above the surrounding architecture, and out of the fog comes a distant peal of thunder, quickly accompanied by the howling of wolves in the woods below. But the house stands silent, seeming like the fossil remains of some long dead thing smote upon by the mountainside. So go ahead and go over to Argenvolstolt. Um, and this is the map that we will start on next time in front of the dragon statue.
And we will be able to see it in just in time for us playing next week.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
just leave it up and we'll load it up over the next week. And
Yeah, this one may take us a session or two to get through. It's a 4-story building with a lot of stuff to kind of rummage through, so this should be fun.
It's not going to be us going in, kidnapping a little girl and a bunch of cats, stealing a sword, and then lighting the place on fire.
I mean,
And then pretending to save said girl from fire.
I mean,
Hey,
I
hey,
mean,
hey, hey, hey.
In
Place
fairness,
is on fire.
we did save the girl from captivity and insanity.
So we rescued the girl and the cats, or
Yes, we rescued the girl and the cats, and then we set the whole building on fire.
you just set it
And-
on fire?
Yes.
Well,
And
we
then-
set it on fire, and then Parrot proceeded to then further explode the thing.
Also,
Okay.
you rolled a natural 20 in with all of us, helping and assisting and guiding, to disguise our tracks so no one knew that we were there.
Oh, all right. Well,
He's like, as long as that's the case, I don't care. We're good.
I thought the idea was we were going to get away and they wouldn't know it was us, or
Well, the
they were
problem
gonna know it
was that
us
we
no
were
matter what,
kidnapping
so.
the girl because she was locked in there, and we were stealing the sword, and someone stabbed the sword through a wall, so they were kind of going to be able to figure
probably
out that
Vika.
someone was there.
Where'd we dump the girl and the cats?
The cats are just running around, and the girl we left at the church, and then
With
managed
our friends.
Lucy managed to cleanse her curse, but she is at the
Okay.
church.
We left her at the church under the guise that we found her wandering around.
Yeah, Vika managed to deceive the priest and make him believe that we just found her running around.
And then we
We
just
also-
beat the shit out.
We successfully
"Let's get outta
shenanigans,
here."
which rarely happens.
Yeah, strangely enough, we successfully shenanigans without fire and pitchforks coming after us.
There was a little fire.
Oh, there was lots of fire.
No, coming after us. There is a difference. This was intentional fire that we used ourselves. It is not being used against us.
And I tried to, make it seem like we had nothing to do with it by Parrot and I running in to try and save the girl.
Technically,
no
you were
longer
there
there.
too.
Technically,
Yeah.
we were there too.
Yeah, you went with them to try and find the girl and save her from the burning building, but she wasn't there because you guys had to pretend that she was still there.
well, anyways, folks, we will catch up with you guys next week, same time, same place. Have a good New Year's. Maybe I'll get another stream in, but if not, you guys have a happy New Year's, and we'll see you back in 1 week. Take care.